Hello guys, this is Retro Photo House, and today we will talk about Jupiter-9 rangefinder version. In first part we were talking about how to clean inner elements from fungus, and today in second part I'll show you how to clean up and relubricate helicoid part, because this lens is from 58, very old, and grease is old, resulting in stiff focus. It's very hard to move, and to precisely focus it's almost impossible. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we need to separate helicoid part from optical block. For this you take with two hands like that, and you're turning to the left. Sometimes it could happen that you should apply a bit of force. Optical block, helicoid part. So now you need to put your helicoid to infinity. Here you have. Then we need to remove the external focusing ring. For that there is three screws, sorry, 1, 2 and 3 here. So let's remove them. And then by pulling it, normally you could remove it, but there is another screw. Yes, here we have. So then we need to remove this silver part, back part, with a scale on it. There is two screws here, one and another. Let's remove them. And then you unscrew it. So now we have our helicoid, which is composed of 4 parts. We need to disassemble all, but respecting the relations between all the parts, because there is a lot of threads inside. So it's very important. As I showed you, we have focused it on infinity, so maybe you can see here there is a screw, yes, with limiting part. So here we have our infinity. Let's remember this position. Now we need to understand that there is few screws inside. Here one screw, and here another one. I made already the marks here, but it's very important to make the marks in order to see during reassembling the position of the parts, the relation of the parts between all them. Okay, so I'm putting the mark here and here. So now we will remove the back part of the helicoid. To do this, you are removing these two screws, one and another. It was here where we made the marking. You see the marking? And by turning to the left, you are unscrewing it. As you may see here, there is old grease on the thread. So now we will need to remove the front part of the helicoid. So this screw is limiting. So here we have our infinity, and here we have our minimal focal distance, focusing distance. So let's remove it. You remember this position, okay? Here and here, you see? And you are removing it. So we have our front part, our middle part, and inside this front part it is composed from two parts here, inner one and exterior one. So, and now we will proceed with the most important part. We need to separate this front part in two. There is a thread inside, but we should make a markings on markings in order to after reassemble it properly. Okay, so normally I'm doing this with a screwdriver. I make a marking here and here. I think you can see it. In order to be able to put this part and this part in correct way, okay? You see, it's turning. So you need to put marking here and here. After, during reassembling, to see in which position it should be, okay? It's first marking, and here you put the marking sharp on the inner element, but aligning with this edge, like that. Big mark, because after you should know how long this part should be. So now what we can see, we have here markings on internal part and external, and we have a long mark here. It shows us how to align two parts on the lengths here, okay? And then you can, by turning to the left, you can disassemble it. You see, there is a really much old grease. Here you have a thread here and you have a thread here. You have thread here, you have thread here. Now it's very simple. We need to clean all threads from old grease, okay? I'm using for this purpose alcohol and cotton tampons. Normally you will use a lot of tampons because there is really big amount of oil grease inside. Look at that amount of grease, you see? Now I will change the cotton tampon. It could take you a bit of time because, as you may see, there is a lot of threads with all grease, and you need to clean it all, like me here. So you see how is it. Now you are taking another cotton And you are cleaning, more or less it's clean, but you can make it even better if you wish. And then a bit of alcohol to finalize. So it's clean more or less, you see. Not perfectly, but I think it's sufficient. And you are making the same thing with this spare part, with this thread. There is much more grease inside, especially. Really big quantity of grease, of all grease. It's very dirt inside. And in this way, as I showed you, you are cleaning all threads. So this one is cleaned, it's only exterior. This part has two threads, exterior and interior. In fact, there is two threads, one here and one here, but you should clean all. One interior thread in this part. This one you can just a little bit, because it to mount this part, so it's, and exterior on the rear part. Okay. So after we have cleaned all thread surfaces from on all four parts, we will start to reassemble the helicoid. No, first we will need to put a new grease. Okay, I'm using this Soviet Team 201. It's a grease for these purposes. If you need it, please check out my eBay store for it. So I will take cotton stick, okay, and I will put, first of all, we will reassemble this part and this part. So it's a, as you may remember, it's our front part, it was like that. So I will grease first of all this surface and inner surface here. I'm taking a grease and I'm putting it on helicoid, on thread of helicoid. Not too much, but enough. So here it's okay. Now the inner thread. So here we have enough of grease. And now we will proceed to reassembling of these two parts. But I want to say that is somehow tricky way, because this thread is a 4-step, okay? There is 4 steps of thread. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And only one is correct, okay? That's why we made these markings here and here, as you may remember. I don't know if you see it inside. So our aim is to put these two parts using the correct step of thread. This you can make only in the way of experience. It means that you should try. So let's try. So we need this mark be here on the edge, and 2 marks, this and another one, this, should be aligned, and the distance should be minimal there. So I will show you. Let's start. So here it's a left-hand thread, I guess. Left-handed thread. So we have put on some step, but we don't know for a while if it's correct or not. Let's see. So first of all, let's check our marking here. Where is it? Here you see? Here we have our marking. Let's see if here it's okay. Yes, we have, I guess we have a chance. As you may remember, so these markings are aligned here, and the distance was the same as on the beginning. This little distance you can check up on the beginning of the video how it was. This distance you should remember before disassembling. So we had a chance, and from the first try we caught the correct step of the thread and reassembled it correctly. So now we will need to put the grease on this thread and to mount this one. So we have put the grease. Maybe it was too much on inside, you know. So I guess we will put just on external thread. We will not put the grease on internal, because Here I guess it will be enough for 2 threads. So here we have the same story, because I'll show you. Here we have also 4-step thread, and only one of them is correct. So let's see. Here our screw limiting screw. You remember? It was limiting on focusing on infinity and on minimal distance. Let's now check which hole it is. Yes, it's this one, I guess. Let's see. Yes, it's this one. You see? Because there is another one, and I guess it's not this. So we will remember this hole. Let's make just maybe some little marking here. And we should put this ring in the way that on this limit it should be in the bottom here, and on this limit it should be on the top here. One more time. This hole should be on this limit here, and on this limit it's minimal focusing distance here on the top, and on infinity it should be here. Let's try to put it together. Again, only one of 4 positions is correct. We have our hole here. Let's see. What do we have? You see? It's not correct one, because it not can up to here. This is our hole. So this thread is not correct. We're removing, we are unscrewing it, and we are trying next thread. Next step of the thread, okay? Let's see this one. No, I guess it's the same. Let's try this one. No, you see, it's not here our hole, but in the middle. It's not a correct one. It should be here. And here what do we have? You see, it's bypassing this limit. It's not here but here. So it's not a correct one. Not this one. Not this one, you know, because it's not here but in the middle. Not this one. Yes, I guess it's this one, because here on this edge we have our hole on the top, and here we have on the bottom. You see, it's a correct thread, step of the thread, so we have put it correctly. Now we're just putting this limiting screw inside. it's working perfectly. There is too much of grease, we will remove. So it's okay, it's working. Now we will need to put the last part and last thread. It's this one. We are putting grease on it. Then, as you may remember, our limiting screw should be on the infinity, so in this position here, and then we are screwing it inside, looking at our markings. You remember, here we have a marking, and here there should be screws here and here. Let's see, let's check up the holes. Not this one, because it's not aligned, you see, but maybe a next one. Yes, I guess this is this one. Let's check. Yes, you see our marking here and the hole, and our marking here with the hole. Let's put these bigger screws inside. You see? It's okay. One and another. Let's see. You see? It's on our marking. So it's okay. Now we will put the remaining parts. This one, you just screwing it up to the end. Hop, and there you should find your holes. Yes, you see, inside the hole is aligned, so you can put the little screws, little ones, inside. One and another. You should screw it up to the end, because if it will be not screwed to the end, it will make the obstacles while turning this ring. You should respect that here there will be nothing. You see? Know that you not like that. I'll show you. You see? Like that it's not okay. Because it's visible here, the little screw. Till the end. Yes. And now, as you may remember, it's focused on infinity. So we will put this ring with infinity mark on it. We are putting it like that. And here you have your little holes aligned. Interior one with exterior. And then you are putting your screws. One. Two. And three. And finally we are putting our optical block inside. Till the end, and we are fixing it with applying a force. Up. Yes. Now let's see how it's working. It's worked perfectly. Focusing is smooth with new grease. Rangefinder will also work on it. So to repeat, it's quite, you may think it's quite hard to perform, but in reality it's not hard. Just you need to make the proper markings and to put on the beginning in proper way the lens. You should disassemble it with focusing on infinity, and after it's quite simple. Just in two situations you need to perform in experimental way, because you cannot know in advance which thread step you will put on the beginning. That's why you have your markings there. Hope this video will help you with greasing your old and, by the way, excellent optically Jupiter-9s. And this is Retro Photo House. Welcome to my eBay shop, and see you later. Bye.